Hey guys, welcome back to Top Tipper Betting Tips. I trust you punters are having a fantastic evening after Delboy, myself tipping the bar pot, the PA, um, both jackpots. And if you had followed my tips, you would have also tipped the pick six, plus the best bet Prometheus winning at 33 to 10. So the bar pot returned 2156. The PA 3003, jackpot 1 985, jackpot 2 1224, for a total profit of 7369. The outlay was only 872. Guys, that is fantastic value for the tips that we put out. We don't ask you to take 5,000 Rand perms. So we're very proud of that tipping today, and we hope you guys stick with us and you have faith with us and you're very happy with the results. I'm going to have the postman tipping out at the Vaal, so I'm going to have the postman going to go through his preview with you. So here's the postman.
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, no matter where in the world you guys are. And I get a big warm welcome to the Top Tipper family. Racing in the Transvaal has been really tough, however, not a bad card. I hope you guys all jumped on at Kenilworth today. The best bet came home like a good thing. Caught the bipot several times. And whilst I'm doing this preview, we're still running in jackpots and pick sixes and place accumulators. So I really hope we can all cash in. Racing comes to us on Thursday, the 6th of April. We're running at the Vaal Classic track. 8 races carded. First is due off at 12:55 and the last is due off at 16:40. Guys, not a bad card. I think it's a card to get involved in, and I think we can make some money with this card. We start in the first race, and the first race, my first selection here is horse number 3. This is Courageous. Malasele Kajedi gets a ride here for the Candace Dawson yard. Last time out in a feature was slow, did have excuses. I really think that around about 9-10 to 1, this is really good each way value. Honestly, I can't see this one running out of the places. So I have put this down as a value bet and my narrow first selection. For second, I've gone for a first timer here. Very well bred daughter of Pomodoro. This is Katira. Pierre Stradum gets a ride here for the Sean Tarry yard. Nicely drawn at 1. And again, if not too green, can certainly make its presence felt. For third, I've gone for the favorite, and this is horse number 2, Betula. Diego de Gavea gets a ride here for Stewie Pettigrew. Did have one run, decent effort, finishing just over 1.5 lengths behind Soldier's Eye. Was slow, was green, and we can look for an improved effort from that one. And for fourth, we've gone for the 4, Dakota Cat. Nice roughie here at around about 14 to 1. Dennis Suarez for Quibus Roo, also very nicely drawn. Guys, we're going to have a each way touch on the 3. We're going to throw this one in all our swingers, exactas, trifectas, and quartets. So we've gone 3, 6, 2, and 4. Bar pot, I'm going to take the top 3 selections and hopefully we can double up. Second race on the card, due off at 13:25, made in juvenile plate, over 1,450 meters. And in this event here, my first selection is horse number 8, No Place Like Home. Craig Zaki for Mike de Kock. We saw de Kock yard, how well it did on Tuesday. Craig Zaki riding really well. Did have one run against winners. Not disgraced, finishing just under 5 lengths behind Fire and Flames. Was slow on that occasion. And again, we can look for an improved effort on that one. For second, I've gone for horse number 2, Bomb Bomb. This is Gavin Arena for Candace Dawson. Nicely drawn at 1. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dawson yard has the first double. But again, all to come places, nothing wrong with that. And as I said, we've gone for Bomb to run second. For third, gone for again, striker straight in for Sean Terry, a nasty bred son of fire away. This is Kamakoma. If I'm looking for a negative here, drawn 10 out of 12. Big negative, but nicely bred and could be anything. For fourth, gone for another first timer here. This is Battle of Kursk. Very nasty bred son of Lancaster Bomber. Donald Geertsen takes his 2.5 off for the Magna Yard. Again, first timers, guys, you're just going to have to watch them go down and see how they're striding out if you're going to have a touch on the nose. Unfortunately, we cannot wait for bipods. Bipod, I think 8 and 2 should be sufficient. Larger players throw in the 6 as well. And we've gone 8, 2, 6, and 1. Move on to the third race. This is the first leg of the pick 6. Due off at 13.55. This is a maiden plate for the girls, over 1,000 meters. And the obvious choice here is horse number 1, War Empress, Ryan Munger for the Ashley Fortune Yard. This is currently around about 6 to 10, has had 3 decent efforts. 6 to 10 I think is a little short, but when we go and we look at this field, barring any first timers, should be too good for this one. For second, I have gone for a first timer, and I'm going to include this one in all exotics. Nasty bred daughter of Give Me the Green Light, horse 11. Wait for the green light, Samanga Kamala for the Fabian Habib Yard. I'm certainly going to throw this one in to everything. Exactors, swingers, pick sixes, a whole lot. I'm throwing the 11 in. For third, I have gone for the 7, Chili Marmalade. Again, I like this Donald Geertsen for Stephen Moffat. First effort was not the worst. Last time out, did have excuses in our work riders. Finished the race off coughing. And again, I think this one may be good enough to fill in back end of trifectas and quartets. And we will certainly be throwing this one in our trifectas. For fourth, going for the 3, this is Regina Bellissima, Marker van Rensburg for the Mowing Yard. Again, I do think that this is good enough to run a drum in this field, and trifectas and quartets must be included. So race 3, 1, 11, 7, and 3. Larger punters, my apologies, smaller punters, banker the 1 in everything. Larger punters, throw the 11 in. Maybe we can double up in a pick 6. Race 4, we drew off at 14.25, a med rate at 96 handicap, over 1,000 meters. And in this event, my first selection here is horse number 3, and this is Mover and Shaker. I do think that this is the best bet on the card. And round about 17 to 10, we certainly going to get involved in this. For second, I've gone for the 1, Constable. Again, Donald Geertsen claiming his 2.5 will certainly help Constable. This is, as I said, Donald for the Terry Yard. I think this could run second. For third, I like this horse 2, Mardi Gras. I certainly will be including that in exactas. This is Muziyeni for the Fabian Habib Yard. Fabian got a really, really strong hand here. And I do fancy Mardi Gras to give a decent account of itself. For fourth, we've gone for the other Fabian Habib horse, and this is Vegas High Rise. But I do think the winner will come from, or I think 3 will win, and I think 1 and 2 will fit in the second and third berth. So race 4, 3, 1, 2, and 5. Fifth race on the card, drew off at 14.55. This is a novice handicap over 1,800 meters. And in this event, my narrow first selection is horse number 3, Lebitio. Ryan Munger retains the ride here for Tyrone Zaki. I really think that the 1,800 will suit this one down to the ground. And again, 7 to 1, nice each way value. For second, gone for the 5. This is the Thuli Muzigenie for the Fabian Habib Yard, carrying only 52. Blinkers remain on. Has had 2 decent efforts, and again, this one I think in an open field certainly should be there when the whips are cracking. For third, we've gone for the 2, Hasler Grande. Filasandin Toli getting the ride here for Paulie Matchett. This won and maiden last time out, didn't beat much, but again, was switched out, ran on really, really well, and I certainly will be throwing this one in all exotics. For fourth, we've gone for the horse number 1, Bertilius. This is Chase Marjan for the Morwing Yard. Again, the form is there for all of us to see. Big question mark over the distance. Larger players I would throw it in, smaller players I would leave it out. And we've gone 3, 5, 2, and 1. 6 race of the card, draw off at 15.30, med rated 68 handicap, over 1200 meters. And in the 6th race, my first selection here is horse number 8. Now it's a little roughy here for us. And horse number 8 is After Hours, JP van der Merwe for St. John Gray. Round about 8 or 10 to 1. I'm looking for an improved effort from that one. For second, I've gone for the stable companion, horse 10, Feather the Nest. This time, Marco van Rensburg for the St. John Gray Yard. Decent effort last time out behind King of Venus, coming back from a short layoff. But nothing wrong to take those swingers and exactors boxed. For third, we've gone for the current favourite, horse number 1, Defender of Rights. Gavin Lorena gets a leg over for Stewie Pettigrew. Blinkers back aboard this one. Did have 3 decent efforts with blinkers, carrying 60.5. Maybe in its place, but worth including in all exotics. For fourth, we've gone for the 7, Conquer the World. Muzieni for Roy Magna. Very decent effort last time out under Ant Mogotla. Was running on at long odds, and again maybe worth throwing in to larger perms. So in an open event, 8, 10, 1, and 7, and we're looking for the St. John Gray Yard to bring home the bacon. 7th race in the card, draw off at 16.05, may rated 86 handicap, over 1600 meters. And here we've gone for horse number 3, Trident King, Muzieni for the Magna Yard. Again, very, very decent form. The form is there for all of us to see, and again, it should certainly go close. For second, I have gone for the horse 2, Stratospheric. This is Dennis Swaz for Tony Peter. We go and we look. 2 firsts in the province. Again, could be anything. I think, or I'm hoping not, that the handicap has got to this one. But again, I certainly wouldn't be leaving it out. For third, we've thrown in horse number 9. And this is Southern Blaze. Filasande Toli for Stewie Pettigrew. Again, the draw is not of any concern for me. This one will jump, will sit at the back, and will be running on when others have cried enough. 7 to 1 must be included in swingers and exactors. For fourth, gone for horse 10, Earl. Wesley Mowing for the Van der Westhuizen Yard. Go back and look at that run on the 28th of March, of April. 2 lengths to Airway Laws. Put Airway Law on this field here, and it'll be odds on. I really think that coming back to the 1600 meters will suit this horse down to the ground, and we are not going to leave this one out. We're going to include this in all exotics. So in race 7, 3, 2, 9, and 10, and I'm really, really hoping that Earl comes home for us. We move on to the 8th race on the card. The 8th race is due off at 16:40, met rated 72 handicap, over 1600 meters. And in the lucky last, my first selection here is horse 4, Napoleon. Dennis Swaz for Tony Peter. Decent effort last time out behind Bloomington. If I'm looking for a negative, is the draw will be ridden for luck, but again I think should be running on when others have cried enough. For second, we've gone for the 7, Eagle Alley. It's the under Sasibo for the Terry Yard. This will only be carrying 52. And again, I certainly think that this one will be there when the whips are cracking. For third, nice roughie here. Horse 10, Little Miss Sunshine. Marco van Rensburg getting the ride for Heather Adamson. I do think the 1600 will suit this one down to the ground. And again, at nice long odds of about 14 to 1, must be included in swingers and exactors. And for fourth, another big roughie here, horse 12, Parker Jetrix, Jared Penny for Chris Yonker. Again, I think reverting back to the mile will suit this one down to the ground. And again, I won't be letting this one run free. I think if we take him pick sixes, load up the last two legs and try and go short earlier on. So race 8, 4, 7, 10 and 12. And I'm certainly going to take trifectas and quartets in the last two. Guys, as I said, I think it's a decent card. I think we can make some money with all the exotics. What we need to do, though, is just watch some of those first-timers going down. There are some really, really well-bred first-timers. Take it easy. Look after yourself. Check for jockey changes. Check for betting moves. Check for scratchings. Look after yourself. Stephen, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that, the postman. We really appreciate it. Hopefully we can come up with some fantastic profit for the guys again, like we had out at Kenilworth. So guys, listen to what the postman has to say, take his bets and enjoy. Have fun, break a leg, and cheers for now.